Welcome to Spanish, a podcast about being expats in Spain. I'm Tony, I'm from Norway. With me is my co-host Molly. She's from the US. She's in Madrid, I'm in Alicante, and you're going to hear us talk about stuff.
Life in Spain.
Life in Spain. How's it going,
Welcome.
Mal?
It's going well. Just waking up. How are you?
I have this Super Mario cup of coffee with me, trying to boost some caffeine into my veins in a hope that I will be a bit more giddy here during the recording session.
We are low energy right now.
We are. It's currently 10:29 on a Saturday. But life is good. It's 9th of August, 2025. The sun is shining here in Alicante. I assume it's shining in Madrid as well, Mal.
I'm in Sevilla, but yes, it's also here.
So you didn't check in Madrid?
No, but the likelihood of it being sunny in August here is very good.
What have you been up to since last time?
I was actually in Madrid for the long weekend, and it was my birthday last week. So celebrated my birthday a little bit with some friends and went to a spa. That was really fun. Actually, I went to two spas, one in Sevilla and one in Madrid.
You went to two spas? Okay, which one's the best?
Well, I paid more for the one in Sevilla. Well, I didn't pay, but it costs more in Sevilla. You get what you pay for with spas.
You get what you pay for. Were there any outdoor pools there? Yes.
With views of the Giralda. I don't know if you know what the Giralda is. It's like the big tower. It's the iconic tower in Sevilla.
I probably know it by photo, and I probably saw something when I was there, but on the top of my head, I can't picture it actually. But do you feel posh when you're there in the pool looking at the Giralda building?
Yes. You feel rich and famous, yes.
Okay,
It's an awesome view, really. Yeah.
For anyone listening, what does it cost to enter that spa?
You buy packages. I believe, I don't know, I didn't really look into the price. I think it's like 100 euros per person.
Okay, and that's for a day?
It's for a massage, and then you get 2 hours.
2 hours. Well, if it's a good massage, and again, you get to feel rich looking at the at the view there. So
yeah, it was good. It was a nice healing environment. So in total, we were there for 3 hours.
Okay, so one massage, two splashing around.
Hours of the Sevilla one was awesome. It was in an Arab bath. The space was just really cool, and there was a floating pool. It was full of salt, so you just floated.
So you floated. I thought you meant there's a pool inside of the pool that is floating.
Floating? No.
Okay, that's correct. Awesome. Birthday, spa, Madrid, Sevilla, living your best life.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if you go to the spa, but every time I go, I'm like, I have to do this more often because it's good for your mental health. It's good to treat yourself.
Yeah, when people talk about going to spa, I always think I want to go do it, but I never do. I'm more the guy.
You've never been?
Maybe, but it's been a long time. I know I'm more the dude who goes to the sea, sunbathing on the rocks. Yeah.
So have you gotten a massage before?
On my back and stuff? No. I've never been Yeah, I'm saying that because I once got in India 13 years ago a foot massage, and I was like, okay, this is okay. Like I'm not.
I don't like feet massages. Well,
getting them or giving them, there's a big difference.
Well, neither. Even the concept to me is kind of gross, but
not a feet person then. Yeah.
It's good. It's good for you. You should try it. I challenge you to get a massage.
I will put it on my bucket list.
How has your time been?
My time has been good. Just been enjoying summer. Now I've been catching a bit up on work, get the ball rolling with some client stuff, and living a workcation life in several ways, even though I'm just here at my apartment. It's by the sea. And next week I'm going back to Norway for a week and a half because it's my first week at a university course. And then after I've been there, I'm going to meet up with 3 Spanish friends in Oslo, Norway. So then I get to be the local. I'm always the foreigner, and then I'm the local. Yes, I'm not from the south of Norway, but I am Norwegian. So that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
fun.
And do you guys have any plans, or are you just going to wing it?
We have some museums, some things that we want to both see and do, but I try to not fill up the itinerary too much. So finding a balance between we have a plan, but we have the ability to just wing it.
Yeah. That's the art of vacationing.
Are you a winger or are you a planner?
I used to be a planner, but now I prefer to go and just see where the city takes me. And mostly because I'm just lazy.
Just
I don't know what it
wandering?
is, but yeah. I used to like really look into photos of the place and Google reviews basically of what to expect and what other people liked, so what I would like. But my boyfriend doesn't like to look at photos of places he hasn't been yet, places that we're going to go, because he doesn't want it to spoil his first reaction. So then it kind of changed my mind, like, okay, maybe there's a point to that.
Kind of like the moviegoer who doesn't want to see the trailer. They just want to
Be surprised and
be, yeah,
yeah,
take it in as a
for the
whole
first time.
new first time experience.
Yeah.
I can understand that. I do it as well, but like you, it's more the lazy part. There is some disadvantages to like not booking certain things ahead of time or looking up some touristy things, but
Yeah.
yeah, works for me.
Some cities it works better than others, right? Like some you have to sign up beforehand for everything, and then if you
Mm.
show up, there's just nothing for you to do.
So yeah, book some and wing some.
Yes, and just know when and where to do all of it.
Yeah,
It's not that easy.
it's not that easy. So what are we gonna talk about today, apart from winging it?
We are going to talk about August in Spain, how everything shuts down. If you don't know, if you've never been to Spain in August, I don't advise it.
Interesting.
Everybody leaves to the beach. Everybody leaves to where Tony is.
They come to my barrio, my neighborhood. So yes, that's one part of the episode. Gonna talk a bit about August, and then second half we're gonna test a new format. I'm gonna throw a question at you that I found on Reddit and see where that takes us. And we're staying, of course, within the expat realm of things here in Spain. But
Perfect.
before any of that, should we do the wow?
Yes.
I go first. Okay. So my wow is en peores plazas hemos toreado. Say it again.
En varios plazas.
En peores plazas hemos toreado. So literal translation is we've fought bulls in worse arenas.
Toreado is fighting bulls.
Hmm.
Huh.
And I'm
I
almost a
like
bit
it.
proud that I got to show it to you,
That's very Spanish.
who's connected to Sevilla in several ways. I feel like the bullfighting is so strong there. So
Yeah. Yeah.
do you want to take a guess at the meaning of it?
Well, fighting bulls is like one of it just means that you've overcome something very difficult, right?
Yeah, you're onto it. This specific expression means we've dealt with worse situations. So
Okay.
like it isn't such a big deal. Like we'll get through this.
Yeah. I like it.
En peores
So,
plazas hemos toreado. We've fought bulls in worse arenas.
plus, like the plaza is the place where the bulls are fighting.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
Mm-hmm. So that was my wow. What's yours?
Mine is hacerse mayor.
Hacerse mayor, to act old.
So you would think, but it's actually just to get older.
Okay.
That's so. I think it's interesting because in English, I mean, this is like something that doesn't make sense in English, which there's a lot of things, but it's just like I'm getting older. Like that's a way to say that I'm just getting older. And you could say it in a funny way, like me estoy haciendo mayor. I'm getting older. Like if something hurts, like if you hurt yourself, you can just
Yeah.
use that as a way to say like, yeah, I'm just getting older.
Could you use it in the context of not picking up on a culture reference, say like some new pop music, and you're like,
Yeah, yeah.
bueno, me estoy haciendo me
Mayor. Mayor.
mayor.
Yes. Yeah. It's not even just physical things, but culturally, like you're just getting older and maybe slower. And I think it's a funny way to say it.
Okay, cool. Thank you for your wow. Should we just dive into August chit chat?
Yes.
So, your experience of August, I get the impression that you see less people and businesses they close the doors and go for a holiday. Is that correct?
Yes. As an American, it's very shocking. Businesses close for an entire month, depending. Some of them like 2 weeks or a month. Any kind of business can close. Except Mercadona. I don't think Mercadona closes.
I think their business model leans into not closing during summer.
But you know, the smaller places, they just close for the month of August and they just lock their doors and don't come back until September. And I think even doctors, I'm not sure about that, but even doctors just take the whole month off. So don't need medical care in August.
I assume there's someone in the ER, like in case there's an emergency, but yeah, I went to the dentist a few weeks ago, and I said, "Well, I'm gonna go traveling soon," and then they said, "Well, better with September. Like this can wait until September." So
Yeah.
yeah, just wait.
Like did they not have appointments or they just encouraged you?
They encouraged me, but I told them the dates I was traveling, and they're like, "Dude, just wait. This isn't an emergency. Well,
Yeah.
it's just easier for everyone." So I was like, "Okay, cool. I'll just wait."
Yeah. It's strange. I like from my upbringing, I just can't imagine. Like August is not a time. If anything, it's a time to like ramp up. People are going back to school. Um, life just
Well,
doesn't stop there.
in terms of school, I don't know in public schools how long summer holiday is. Here in Spain, it's 3 months, if I'm not mistaken. In Norway, it's 2 months. So
Mm,
our month of like, mm, how do I
rest.
say, publicly doing the holiday together, it would be from, I think it's mid July, more or less, and then half of August, and then school starts and businesses start. Obviously, Norway doesn't shut down completely, but whatever office that has non-crucial services, they take holiday around that time.
Like how long? The whole month? The whole 30 days that you're mentioning?
Very often, but they will like staff down very often. It's like, okay, half of the people go for 2 weeks, and then the other half go for 2 weeks. Like they overlap 2 weeks, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
So like you never completely shut the door, but they're low staffed.
Hmm. So it's not shocking to you that businesses close for a month.
No, but I will say here they close often. It depends on what and who, but in Norway there will usually be someone to at least answer the phone and say, "Hey, most people are on vacation, but let me write this down and we'll get back to you later." Like a way to give like a sign of life, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how things are here, I assume that's more how it used to be in Norway back in the day, maybe if you go back 50 years or something.
Mm-hmm.
But here as well, like it depends what and where. It's like saying siesta. Like Spain doesn't shut down for 2 hours every day. Yes, there whatever business who can take a break midday, they will do, and especially farmers, because when it's hot, it's
Right.
hot.
Yeah.
But like society doesn't stop down, and that's not the thing about August either. Yes, there are inconveniences, but it's not another apagon, you know.
Yeah. I don't know. In Sevilla and in Madrid, especially in summer, midday, there is nobody in the streets. So, which means that a lot of businesses are like, why would I stay open for this time? So, it's quite, maybe it's just the difference between a beach town versus a city.
Yes, here there's a big flow of tourists, and you will definitely see more tourists walking around at 2 3 o'clock with the scorching heat
Yeah. And that
versus
incentivizes
locals.
businesses to stay open because that's like prime time. They will get business.
The one who's selling beer and ice cream, absolutely. But
Yeah.
if you're a paper pusher for building rights, why on earth would you have your doors open then?
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Hmm.
So yeah, your perspective, Madrid, Sevilla, there's no beaches there. Obviously, it's going to be different than here in Alicante.
Yeah.
Again, there's a lot of people in the streets. Just parking in general is
Horrible.
impossible. Like you
Yeah.
just drive around until someone takes their car out, and then you take that spot.
And so the tourism spike that you see there, is it foreigners like from other countries or Spanish people?
It's a mix. So I have two like sources of information. One is me just walking around the people I
Sure. Yeah.
interact with, and the
Yeah.
other one is dating apps. And it's so many chicas from Madrid that pop
Okay.
up on the apps, and there's a lot of foreigners from like the middle part and northern parts of Europe. I do go to a co-working space, and they have reduced their hours. There are people there, but very much like super calm summer vibes there. People are
Yeah.
traveling. People are maybe working from home, or just they're
Yeah.
just at the beach.
Hmm. Like my neighborhood right now, I can cross the street, even the main streets, without waiting for the light because there's so few cars.
Really?
Less so, I mean, especially on the weekend, but even during the weekday, it's quite dead. Everybody is just out traveling. But I asked that because in Spain, you always go to summer at the same beach, at the same place. They have this recurring beach vacation, and
Mm.
they like to go to back to the same place that they always go every year. And I think that's cool, especially for like young kids, because you go and see the same people every summer, and then you make really strong friendships that way.
I have a really close friend who lives in the Netherlands, and every summer she comes here to Alicante and spends a few weeks. We never lived in the same place, but we gotten really close because it's a annual thing.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's something special. I don't know if it's just because you feel like this person took time out of their life to see me, and so now our friendship is stronger, or just like, oh, I have to see this person next year at the beach, so we better have a good relationship.
Might as well get along. Yeah.
No, but I've noticed that Spanish people, a lot of them have friendships for their entire life. And I think it's in part because you have that summer where you go to the same place and you just have that group,
Mm,
and that group just stays into adulthood. And that's something that I never experienced. We always went to different places in the summer
mm.
and never to meet up with other families. It was just like, where are we going this year? And we didn't know anybody where we would go.
I would say that's more how they do things in Norway, but I there's definitely examples of people just more or less doing the same thing every year, and you will create your own holiday community that you keep returning to. And Spaniards in general are really good at creating and maintaining communities. I guess WhatsApp groups. does a big part
Yes.
of maintaining that.
Group chats.
Yeah.
Yes. What is your ideal summer day in August in Alicante?
My ideal summer day. Have a nice walk with my dog Polly. Then I would go to a cafeteria and then have a café con leche, a nice cup of coffee, and then tostada, like toasted bread with shredded tomato, some olive oil, either cheese or jamon serrano. I used to do both, but it's pretty calorie dense, so I started choosing one or the other. And then you get to enjoy each taste
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Then it would be to meet up with someone at a beach. And since I got the bike, I have found this liberating feeling of just getting on the bike and really enjoying those 15-20 minutes to the beach. You get a bit of wind in your hair, then you set up your towel, you go into the beach, dip your toes. Sunscreen, very important. A spot of shadow would be nice. Spend a few hours there, you go home. You either eat at home or at a restaurant. Evening arrives, maybe you go out, you meet up with some people at a terraza, like a terrace bar thing. You sit a bit outside.
Well, you haven't mentioned the heat yet, and so I guess your ideal day in the summer is the same as any other day of the year, right? It doesn't change.
More or less. Like the heat is, even though I didn't mention, it's a reoccurring theme in everything here. So I get up early to walk the dog to avoid the scorching heat. Being on the bike is nice because I get wind in my hair. When I'm at the beach, I go in the water to cool down. If I am going with somewhere and we do take the car, I usually have the parasol, what do you call it, like the sun umbrella thing, with us at the beach. Maybe I got like a cap, and midday to eat. That's also an excuse
To
to
get into
to
air
yeah,
conditioning.
getting to air condition, getting out of the sun. When you meet up with people at a terraza, like a terrace place, they usually have uh what do you call it?
The
What do you call
water
a parasol?
spray. In English,
Yeah,
an umbrella, a beach umbrella.
but at a terrace, like a
Oh, yeah, I don't know. An umbrella.
an umbrella.
I'm
Shadow.
sure there's an official word, but
Yeah. And as you started mentioning, the ones that has the sprayer there, so you get to cool
oof, I
down.
hate that.
You
That's
you
so
hate it? I think
disgusting.
it's fun. And here, like, there's humidity anyway, so it's like there's no
Yeah,
difference. It's been a while since I've seen them though. I don't remember the last time I saw a sprayer.
really. We live two different lives, Tony.
We do.
Like completely opposite lives.
We definitely do. And that's the fun thing of this podcast.
But yes, so your first version of your ideal day was like the rose-colored glasses version, and then when you explain it because of the heat, that is more realistic.
Yeah,
Like
everything's tailored
the
around the sun.
heat, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And also there's a pool here in the urbanization where I live. I'm not that good at using it, but every once in a while I remind myself, hey, go down to the pool, enjoy it at least for a few minutes. And if there's some neighbors there I can chit chat with, that's super cool as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you notice that people are more friendly during the summer?
Mm,
Like, are they more relaxed?
maybe a tad, but I haven't thought much about it. Obviously, if they're not working, they may have a few more minutes to just chill and chit chat. It's nice. There's a nice community here in the building in general.
Yeah.
Is there anything more you want to add to the August theme before we jump over to the last
No,
topic?
keep going.
So, as we mentioned, we're going to try a different format, and that is question and answer or quote unquote stories from Reddit. There's a question here that's very relevant for you, Molly, who is an expat from the US. I want to ask you the same question. I'll just read it off the screen here. So, the title of this thread: anyone here moved from the US to Spain and regretted it afterwards? I am planning on moving my husband and my 4-year-old daughter to Spain. We'll be working for X company in Madrid. Anyone here regretted moving from US, specifically Texas, to Spain? What are the main things that you miss from the US? Would you move back? Also, what would be a good salary for a family of 3? We all speak Spanish, so my daughter would do great in public schools here. Thank you. First answer, which I thought was kind of interesting, was this person from Texas who moved to Barcelona. He or she says the following: I don't regret it one bit, but everyone is different. I love having public health coverage. Additionally, having private health care for only 80 euros a month. For context, this was written 1 year ago. I love being able to walk everywhere. I love the public transportation and the ability to travel all over Spain and Europe. I love not worrying about gun violence. I feel healthier and less stressed here. I do miss little things about the US, but won't be going back. Can't deal with the stressful lifestyle in the US. Molly.
That is very interesting.
It is. It is. So, okay, these people are specifically talking about going from Texas to Madrid and Barcelona. You went to Madrid. You're from the US. You've been here 1.5 years. Any
Almost two.
thoughts?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, it's interesting that you bring this up because I was talking to my boyfriend yesterday about like how I feel about living in Spain, just kind of recapping. And one of the biggest takeaways from that conversation was there is nothing better than feeling safe and healthy in your life. And that's something that Spain has given me since moving here. And so just like that person said, like, I mean, I wasn't worried about gun violence necessarily, although it's definitely relevant. But having a safe life is so much better than feeling like there's chemicals in your food that you don't know about. And healthcare is very expensive. It can take all your money and you'll have nothing. So I second that response that it's invaluable, the lifestyle that you can live in Spain or in Europe with healthcare and more transparent food choices.
My first thought on that response, maybe I'm oversimplifying it, but it's like they focus more on the basics here in Spain and they do the basics well. When I say more, then it's not necessarily just US, it's other countries in general. One thing that often comes to mind for me is food. They use basic ingredients. It's traditional Mediterranean diet. It's not very complicated. It's very intentional, the different dishes, but it's not a ton of different ingredients. You enjoy flavors in general more. It's kind of, I know it's a silly example, but what I mentioned about the tostada, like the toasted bread. Previously, no, you need ham, you need cheese. And now I'm slightly leaning more into no, let's go either ham or cheese because one, it's less calories, but two, you get to enjoy each taste more. And I noticed that the level of salt when it comes to savory food is for me is a tad lower now than previously. I would add more salt, I would add more sugar. Now I add less. One metric, I buy these small packages of powder to make iced tea. I buy them from Mercadona, and for a bottle of maybe like a liter of water, I used to use 2 packs. Then I went down. Uh, this is the span of like a year or two. So I started with 2 packs. Then I went down to a pack and a half. And now I've gone down to one. So half. And for me, it tastes the same. Like it's as sugary, as tasteful as it used to be. It's just I eat less sugar and less salt. At least that's what I think I do. And that kind of leans into let's do the basics, let's not exaggerate things, let's be a tad more intentional.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely agree with you on that. At first, I thought everything here was tasteless.
Mm.
the food, but you get used to it and it's much healthier. So, um,
So you had a similar experience as well in terms of how savory or how sweet something is.
yeah. And my taste buds have changed. I don't mind eating things without spices. The gastronomy here it's quite simple. I mean, depending, but in general, typical Spanish dishes are not spicy, they're not crazy.
Mm.
Um,
But they're
and
intentional.
right, right. And so you just get used to it. And you have to be open-minded, of course. You Some people would taste it and be like, "Ugh, I don't like Spanish food." So you just have to be willing to try something and adapt your behaviors, because if not, you won't like it because it's not what you're used to.
Mm.
And I think a lot of Americans might be like that. Not to overgeneralize, but they if it's tasteless for people, they wouldn't keep going back to it. They would be like, let me just make it my way.
Mm. Like, don't get me wrong, I can eat dirty, filthy food still. Like, I have some guilty pleasures. But again, I noticed with my own personal metrics that things have changed slightly.
Yeah.
But in terms of a healthy lifestyle apart from food, is there something that has stood out to you? Is it the walkable neighborhoods? Is it
Yes. It's much more
parks?
common to walk here. I mean, in the city, yeah, like a lot of people just walk, and in the US, it's not normal
Mm.
to everybody takes a car everywhere. And I mean, not in the big cities. I'm more of a big city person. But yeah, just I guess my particular lifestyle here is much more walking. I have to walk to get groceries.
Mm.
Um, and it's just okay to walk. In the US, if you're walking in smaller cities, people think that you're crazy. Like you're homeless, or it's not normal. It's almost a class thing. Like, oh, you're walking, you must not have a car, you must have issues.
To be fair, if where you live is small enough, I think that's pretty universal. Like if I look at a small town in Norway, as you said, if it's a healthy or a decent sized town, it's not frowned upon to walk. Rather the opposite. But if it's like a small town, it's why is that guy walking? He must be drunk or poor or both.
Yeah, that's probably not specific to Spain here.
But what do you miss? Like the US is an awesome country. It has so many great things about it. Is there anything on top of your mind? It's like, if I could just have that, or I really miss that thing.
That I can't get here.
Or maybe you can, but it's not that common or infused into your day to day.
Obviously, friends and family. That's a cheap answer, I think. I need to think about this because I get asked this all the time and I never have a good answer.
Okay, so you adapt easily then.
Yes, I think so. I would say yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think I have anything. That's kind of crazy to say, but other than specific people.
How about general values and mindsets? Like things that you grew up with and were exposed to. Is there a way of thinking that you miss every once in a while here?
Mm, the US is very international. People from every country in the world, and they're American.
Mm.
They were born in the US. So I guess just having that awareness that there are people from everywhere and just being exposed to that, I think here in Spain, there's not a lot of that. Or there's just not the awareness that, like, you look Asian, but you could be from not Asia.
Mm.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Oh, it does. 100%. Ethnicity wise, the US has everything. If you go to whatever European country, even though it's changing in bigger cities with each generation, each decade, it's not the same at all.
Yeah, yeah. we're progressing, but it's just a slow thing. Another thing is that Spain had a dictator like 50 years ago, so
Mm,
they had a lot of um, things holding them back. They could, like, it was illegal to do like certain things, like watch movies in English
mm.
was not allowed. So I think Spain is just catching up
As a
in that way.
democracy, they're a very young nation. That is true. I read, or okay, let's be honest, I heard it in a YouTube video, but I think he did very really good research.
Yeah.
There was a guy talking about how it wasn't allowed in Spain up until early 60s, I think, to travel between comunidades
Really? I
in
didn't know that.
Spain. Yeah, and one theory was that it was a way to make sure not too many people meet up and exchange ideas.
That's crazy. And now we have Instagram and YouTube, and everybody has everybody's ideas.
Yeah, just imagine that. Let's say you were living in South Carolina in the US and you were not allowed to go to North Carolina even because hey, you need to stay within your region, and we want to try not have the cities be too big because what if people have opposing political views and they start spreading?
Hmm.
So no, Spain is fairly young in that sense, and I know very little about how things were versus they are now. Just like some of the main stuff, and it is really interesting. Just what you said there, like it wasn't allowed to watch movies in English, hence everything was dubbed, and how that has just created the habits and like shaped culture in
Yeah.
general. The same way as in Norway, we didn't need to, and we were very pro America. We got a lot of help after Second World War. We have been like USA, USA, and of
Hmm.
course that helps everyone just learn
Just
English.
exposure, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think with social media, it's going to be more understood. I'm sure the younger generations are much more aware of, I don't know, diversity. What you look like on the outside doesn't mean that you're from a, like, you cannot tell where someone is just by looking at them.
Just 10 years ago, but we had a music duo from Norway. I think they were called Nico and Vin.
Oh, yeah.
And do you know them?
Yeah, they have that song "Am I Wrong," right?
Oh my god, so you actually do know it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They had their fame for a while in the US, and they were from Norway, and they had some really great success. And I remember there was some interview clip that was circulating where they said, "You guys have black people in Norway?"
Who said that?
It was some US interviewer, I think, who said it.
Yeah.
And like when you do stereotyping, like it happens, and like sometimes, yeah, I get the ignorance questions and statements can be a bit hurtful sometimes, but man, it's just about being educated and, as you said, exposed to certain things.
Yeah. Right. As an expat, I'm learning that your life experiences and what you know changes your experience when you move to a different country. Like with what you notice, with what you fixate on, even with what you experience, I guess, because you're just so used to your way of life. Like saying Spanish people are friendly, that generalization, for me, I feel like they're not as friendly on the outside. But if you come from Eastern Europe, they're smiling. So you're like, okay, they're happier than where I'm from. You know, it's all
Yeah.
about your point of view. Like,
What's
oh,
your
people
point of
actually
reference?
smile here.
Yes.
And I'm like, well, smiling to me is not indicative of that they're friendly necessarily. But you do change. That's what I'm learning about myself.
It's impossible
So,
not to be changed when you're just exposed enough to other things.
well, I love that Reddit question. If you're listening right now and you have a question or a story, send us a message. We have email. Our email is on our YouTube page, or you can send us a DM on Instagram.
Send us messages, please. We want to
Stories, questions.
everything. We really do want to hear other people's experiences, questions, opinions. We would love to learn more. So please do not hesitate to reach out to us on any platforms, on the YouTubes, on the Instagrams, on even on the Spotify's.
Yes.
On that note, do follow us on the platforms. Hit that follow button.
And it's free.
It is free. The only thing you have to pay with is your attention for a little while.
Yes. Thank you so much for listening. And we will see you next time.
We go 1, 2, 3. Adios.
Adios.
Adios.